Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back with another story and I'm gonna share my experience how I tried 26 jobs in last 3 years. I have my list ready so I can explain you why I quit, what was the reason and how different jobs has different kind of problems and whatever I have learned from those jobs. So first of all, I'm gonna start with my story. When I come in Canada, it was totally different environment. Everyone was doing part time, all the students, and it is very hard to manage your expenses if you don't have any job in the Western world, especially because where we are coming from, Southeast Asia, you can live with your parents, you have your own house, the food is cheaper, but here the world was totally different. So yeah, because of the college I needed to find a job as well, so someone recommended me to go to the warehouse. It was kind of a factory where they were printing some stuff like books and all that stuff. And for the whole day, me and my roommate, we were outside, and at night we got a shift. So we did that shift the whole night without any sleep, and it was terrible. My first day ever in the job, it was terrible. Without any sleep, I was tired, working like machines. I was not expecting this when I was in India. I was thinking that okay, I'm gonna do some typing job or any easy stuff, bookkeeping, but that was totally different. And then I have decided I'm not gonna do that anymore. And then I went to an Indian restaurant. I asked for a job. Then I got a job as a dishwasher, and that was a tough job. They were giving me like the big pans to wash, and it was very hard. And they were paying me like $9 per hour, and yeah, it was on cash. It was not on your social insurance number, and I quit that job too. Yeah, after working like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was without a job for a month, and I was ready to do anything else. Then I contacted um, then I contacted a employment agency, and they said okay, you can start tomorrow and you can go to this location. I went to that location, and it was like you are lifting 10 kg boxes the whole day, and it was tough. I didn't get my food with me. I was eating like chocolate bars and all that. And yeah, that was the last day in the factory finally. And after that, I become a gas station cashier or the gas station attendant. I know it was a good job for me because it was a night shift, very easy, not a lot of stuff. But after doing night shifts for a couple of months, I feel like I'm not in good health because during the day I was working. Sorry, I was doing studies, going to college, doing your assignments, and yeah, I'm like third or fourth month, I I could I without finding any job, then I quit that because I was facing a real consequences on my sleep, my health, and I become very aware of my sleep. And after that, I got like a typing job. Finally, I got a typing job. So there was a Canadian outlet in Toronto. I think that guy's a scammer. If you ever find a job posting on him, it was like a Gujarati guy, and he was very rude to everyone. He was abusing everyone, not paying enough. It was just the first day. Then I realized that nobody is happy. Everyone is new. The work system is not good. Like just after one day, I just came back home and decided not to go there again. And yeah, so after that, I tried the Uber Eats Classic. I tried on a bicycle just to deliver food. That's one of the jobs I've tried. And the ice cream parlor. If you live in Canada or any major cities, you must have heard ice cream shop called the D Spot Dessert. And I worked there too for a couple of days. I did my training making crepes and scooping ice creams. And it was a tough job, very tough job. I feel like, yeah, the work environment is not good. And yeah, they were asking to clean the toilets too. And yeah, I was not ready to do that at all. It was like only 5 months I was here in Canada. So yeah, and then I went to the Osmos Shawarma restaurant. It's a fast food making shawarmas. As you guys know, they serve like a shredded vegetables and the chicken. So they have the uh, big pan or a grill. Then there you have to chop that chicken with the spices, uh, with the scrapers, so which was also a very tough one. I spent there a couple of hours and then I asked, okay, I'm gonna leave because all the hot water was going into your forearms and it was tough. Yeah. And after that, I went to a startup restaurant. So like one Gujarati couple, they were opening a restaurant and it was like a week and then they hired me. I worked there and yeah, some things didn't work out for them because they didn't wanna hire anyone because it was the initial phase of their business and they were not ready to pay anyone yet because they were not having any customers the whole day. They were without any customers. I think that was the reason they just laid me off. And after that, I worked around 1 month in a Hasty Market convenience store, which was uh, which was tough. The owner was from Jordan, I guess, and he was not paying anyone. He didn't pay me for a month. It was like $1,000 something. He was paying on cash, and nobody was getting paid in that job. And there was one Indian guy used to come every day. He was reminding me, okay, don't work here. But I was not taking him seriously. But in the end, when I decided to quit, then he said, okay, no money. He blocked me. So I said, okay, yeah, it's fine. If you see the reviews of that convenience store, it's very bad. It's on the Bloor Street in Toronto. And then I went to Banff. My college placed me in a restaurant, in a Greek restaurant, and it was my first time working as a cook beside trying those jobs. And I worked there for 2 months because they gave me staff accommodation. I had to work there for a while, and I was cutting my fingers for like I was doing prep cook. So I'm a vegetarian, so I was not ready to cut any meat at all. They were giving me like huge boxes of chicken, which I didn't want to cut. So I asked him, can I just cut vegetables and then go home? And they were like, no, this is not a vegetarian restaurant. So most of the time you have to cut the chicken and then the vegetables. And on the side of that, because that was a summer break, so I went there in my summer break in Banff. And then on the part time, I was working as a sales associate. So I was working two jobs then. So while I was quitting the cooking job, and I had to quit the sales associate too because I needed to go to the Johnson Canyon in Banff, which was far from the town. They gave me the staff accommodation. I quit those two jobs because cooking was it was okay, but not cutting like a meat. Like you become a machine, right? So that's what I felt like, and then I just quit. There was the one Nepali guy. He was telling me you are doing something wrong, but I didn't feel anything wrong even right now. So I decided to quit that job too. And then went to Johnson Canyon. It was a great job. I worked as a barista, making coffees. I loved making coffees, and people were so nice. You get your own separate room in the staff accommodation. It was great. You know that, right? Management everywhere, it sucks, but you have to handle in your own way. And that was the one. And the next one was while I come back from BAF to continue my studies, which was A&W, classic, like flipping burgers. And they were giving me night shift too because I was afraid of working night shift because like after quitting the night shift jobs, my mental health, my physical health, everything was so good. I started going to gym, my diet was good, everything was going well till they asked for the night shift. I said no. They asked me, okay, your friend is working, but I said no, it's fine. I don't wanna work night shift. And then they said, okay, we are gone now. You're not with us anymore. And then butter chicken roti in Union Station. So there used to be a restaurant, very small, fast food Indian restaurant chain. And I worked there for 5 to 6 months. I worked there. The people were so nice. I was doing my studies on the side. The shift was nice. You get home by 7 p.m. in the evening and you get free food. It was great. It went great. It was a great part-time job, I would say. And I quit because I finished my studies. So then I got my internship in University of Toronto as a baker. So after I was working 2 to 3 jobs like butter chicken, I was gonna quit, and then I started my internship, and on top of that I started working ladies golf club as a cook. Yeah, I met a guy from the gym, Indian chefs. He gave me the job, and he's a very nice guy. And I decided to quit when I get like a full-time paid job in University of Toronto. I could, yeah, the work environment was so bad in ladies golf club. The guy was so nice. He was like a friend to me, but yeah, there was no reason to stay there for long, and it was seasonal job too. And then what was the other one? Yeah, University of Toronto. I was working as a baker, as well as the casual hospitality service. That was totally different department in University of Toronto. I worked there. I was getting underpaid and they were expecting a lot more in my baking, but a casual job in hospitality was fine. The manager Phil was so nice. And then when I was in BAF, I made a friend, Canadian friend, Kevin. He got me a job in Canmore. He said, okay, come on in Canmore. The restaurant is opening. So that's where I stayed for around 5 to 6 months. I went I moved in Canmore in November and then started doing that job. It was nice. Everything was so nice. I was a pastry cook. And then, but the only thing was nobody was getting paid on time. That was the major thing because Canmore is an expensive place to live in Alberta, and that's what happened after 5 to 6 months. I quit that job too because I was paying like $1,200 for a room, and then it was so hard to pay the rent and do a lot of things. And then I got a job as a server. I become server in Emerald Lake Lodge in British Columbia field. Then I worked there. It was so nice. I made good money, and on top of that, part-time I worked in the boathouse as a cashier, I would say. And for the whole summer, it was like 7 months I worked there. It was so nice. The environment was so nice. The people were so nice. The only problem was the accommodation because you have to share a room with a lot of people. and hundreds of people. I mean, say like a hostel environment, because even though you are saving a lot of money in that place, in very remote place, but still you need your own private space to, so you can have some privacy, because you have to handle like people doing drugs, people are just drinking a lot, doing weed, and then they doing parties every night. I was totally different person back then, so I quit that job and took a break. I took a break. I went back to Toronto with my friend. I stayed there. It was a nice time. And after that, I come back here in Calgary. I'm just looking if I have missed any jobs or not. Yeah. So I come back in Calgary. I got a reference from my friend. I started doing part-time cooking in the Boston. That was terrible. The people were so arrogant. They were trying to show the power to others. It was crazy. That's all I can say. And Boston Pizza, and then I got called from the coffee shop, Good Earth Coffee Shop in Calgary. I worked there for a couple of days, and yeah, then I got another job from a hotel. That's where I started focusing on 4 Points. It's just like a chain of Marriott. That's where I'm working right now. And before that, I tried like a Turkish kebab house too. It was a serving job. I spent like one day there, but it was a mess. I just didn't like that job at all, because you have to carry like a big grill with you to serve people, because the service style was so different. It was hard, and I felt like I don't wanna put myself into unnecessary suffering. So right now I'm doing that job. I think it's like 27 something, and right now I'm doing serving job in the 4 Points by Sheraton. So I explained you all the reasons. Most of the time you just don't wanna be a machine, right? You just wanna work there and have a nice time. You meet nice people, but sometimes it doesn't happen. You don't get most of the things right, and one day you just collapsed. So that was the reason most of the times I quit my jobs. And I've learned a lot of things. First of all, doing cashiering, I learned the POS systems, how to meet people, how to talk with people in general, and I learned how can I cook better food, like, yeah, how to prepare stuff, how you can organize the kitchen, and how you can be a good baker, how you can bake stuff at your home. I learned a lot of things actually, how to organize yourself. That was but no major learning, not life changing learning. And I'm kind of stuck, because whenever I do any job, I feel like this is not for me. And people have been doing those kind of jobs for years. So I don't know how they survive there. Maybe, but I keep my expenses low, and so I can have some more freedom on my decision making. So that's one of the reasons I think this way. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you will like this video and my experience working those jobs. If you have any question, just comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.